Welcome back to another exciting episode of Resort Randomizer. If you guys are new here, this is the game where we come to the Disney Springs bus stop station, roll a random number generator, and hop on whatever bus it tells us to. We go spend the afternoon out at that resort, checking it out, filling out the ambiance, and seeing if that resort is right for you. Couple of rules to our game. Number one, it has to be random. No matter what number we roll, we have to go to that resort, unless we've already been there before, and at that point we will re-roll, and by the end of the game, we've gone to every single resort. Rule number two, couple of locations we won't be going to, including Shades of Green, the private military resort, Golden Oak, the private residence, Galactic Star Cruiser, which is a private experience on its own, and any third-party resorts on property, including the Swan and Dolphin, which are owned by Marriott. Prior to today's episode, we have been to all of these resorts. I'll link the playlist in the description below and at the very end so you guys can watch those videos from there. But before we jump into today's video, if you guys haven't already done so, make sure you guys subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and leave a comment below about what your favorite Disney resort is. Why don't you guys come along? Let's go make some memories together. Looks like 29 is still our highest number, so we're gonna change that to 29. If we happen to roll any resorts that share a bus, we will re-roll a smaller number, say 1, 2, or 3, and go from there. Number 28. Okay, it looks like we got the All-Star resorts. So we've actually already been to one of the All-Stars in a previous episode, which was All-Star Sports. So in this instance, we're gonna change our random number generator to just 2. We're gonna make it so that All-Star Music is number 1 and All-Star Movies is number 2. Number 1, All-Star Music, let's go. I really haven't spent a whole lot of time out at the All-Stars. It's kind of an unfamiliar territory to me. I'm familiar with like the general layout, but I've not really spent actual time there. So this will be kind of a new experience for me. Now, All-Star Sports is known for being wildly crazy and hectic, especially for things like sports groups and vacation groups and big families. So I don't know what All-Star Music is gonna be like. Maybe it'll be the exact same. Let's go find out. Alrighty, we made it. Not too horrible of a bus ride, but we are fairly far from Disney Springs. We are actually in the Animal Kingdom section of Walt Disney World, which is pretty far out. Also, with using transportation to get to and from the All-Stars, since there are 3 of them, there is only one bus that services all 3. So All-Star Sports was the first stop, we were the second. And we had to stop at Sports to let those guests on and those guests off before we got to ours, and then the bus is gonna continue on to Movies. So keep that in mind when you are trying to get to and from locations. Fairly large bus stop here, much larger than most resorts since this resort does house a lot of guests at multiple times during the year. There is gonna be an entrance right here that I believe leads into the gift shop, but we're gonna go around to the main entrance, just right around the corner that way. Now, before we go inside, I saw these lockers here and I was like, why would you ever need a locker if you're staying here? I believe these are temperature controlled because I see like a 37.9 degrees Fahrenheit, which means this is used for like food. This is so clever. I like that they have this. So if you're doing like a food delivery service and they can't deliver it to your room, they can drop it off here, give you like an access code. At least I would assume that's what these are for. Very cool. I like this. Kind of a small check-in area. I do like this photo op though. This looks like it was something that was commissioned back in 2016. Very cool. There's gonna be the main gift shop. We'll explore that here in a second. And then down this hallway is going to be out towards the pool, I believe the arcade and the quick service location. But before we go, I wanted to look at the pictures of all the different artists here since we are at All-Star Music. Now these are screens and right now they're showing like a Queen's Greatest Hits, but I think these can change to maybe guest information if you're staying here, like maybe if your Magic Band reads that you're here, it would change to like maybe your name. Elton John, Bob Marley. Oh, Lady Gaga, I didn't expect to hear it. That's a cool addition. I think that's Janis Joplin right there. Coldplay maybe, Elvis, Taylor Swift, Michael Jackson, the Beatles. A good mix of both modern and classic artists. I do like that. Oh, they've got some Broadway stuff too. Very cool, Jimi Hendrix and Adele. Now let's go in that gift shop and see if we can find any exclusive merchandise. This is Maestro Mickey's, the one and only gift shop here at the resort. I believe it's just gonna be like your standard kind of gift shop. Lots of things you can either pick up at the park or before you go, maybe after you go. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of exclusivity in here, but we will look around a little bit. T-shirts, lounge flies, sweatshirts, magic bands, ear hats, ear bands, toys. And it's cool to know that because we're in Easter season, they've even got Easter baskets that you can come by. Every resort should have like a little medicine cabinet area. This one is fairly large compared to some that I've seen, but lots of good things you maybe wouldn't have thought to bring, or maybe you ran out while you were here. Hand wipes, Tylenol, shavers, diapers, women's care products. Good selection here. Lots of snacks as well, some chocolates and chips and stuff like that. There's also going to be a cooler with some beverages, beer, wine, stuff like that. There's also going to be just a couple of quick things you can grab for your room. Lunchables, deli meat, cheese, etc. One of the really unique things about All-Star Music is that this is the only All-Star that has family suites. It's multiple bedrooms, kitchenette, which is a wonderful perk for staying here. Like that alone for some families is absolutely worth it. Which is probably why those coolers are outside. That makes a lot of sense now. This is the absolute tiniest selection of exclusive merchandise I think I have probably ever seen, and it does share with all of the other All-Stars. So there's nothing music exclusive here, but it is all this generic All-Star kind of image, which, like I said, does cover all three. That's kind of it for that gift shop. Like I said, it's kind of meant to be something that if you can't wait to get to the park, or maybe you forgot to grab it, or maybe your kid just can't handle not having something right now, it's a good stop. Let's head down here to the food court and check out what's in there. This is the Intermission Food Court. Intermission Food Court is going to be the only dining option here at the resort, but there looks like there's quite a few options to pick from at least. Ice cream stand, you've got some desserts over here. This is, I believe, the exclusive cupcake for here, which is based around Elvis. I want to say it's a peanut butter bacon banana, which that is absolutely going to be in my tummy later before we leave. Lots of other pastries and things to pick from. Got some like sesame chicken stir fry, based beef and salmon, hot dogs, cheeseburgers, pizza, classic stuff. There's also a little section back here called the market where they're gonna have some quick grab things, sandwiches, bottles of water, fruit, cheese, parfaits, maybe some salad sandwiches, and some drinks. Now, upon driving into the All-Stars, there is a McDonald's. It's the only one on property. You guys could always go there to get food, but granted, that's still outside of your hotel. So that's the only location. Not horrible, but not fantastic. Here is a doubled up pool bar. So it means you have drinks you can pick up on the inside and drinks you pick up on the outside, called Singing Spirits. I don't know if there's anything exclusive here. Looks like just some classics, some delicious things to have by the pool on a hot day. Looks like over the last couple of years, they've taken some time to modernize it with the new style of Disney characters. So here's them doing some disco stuff. There's them being a rock band, maybe like a jazz band right there. Some DJs. Oh, I love the pizza. That's so funny. I love these shorts. These are so cute. Now, this is a very large seating area. This is definitely one of the largest I think I've ever seen at any resort. Now, the All-Stars are some of the cheapest rooms you can get on property. So that means lower prices, higher crowds. These can become incredibly busy during certain times of the year, and they attract large groups like school groups and international groups, sports groups, and they will flood this place. So it's not the quietest resort, which means they have to have a lot of room for a lot of people. Right outside of Intermission Food Court is going to be Notable Games. It's going to be your arcade. Very, very large arcade because of the crowds that it needs to handle. So great selection in here. I'm sure this arcade gets a ton of use. Right outside of Notable Games is going to be like an activity board. This is the month of April's. Every single resort is going to have free and paid activities that you and your family can do. Things like trivia and art stuff, movies under the stars or by the pool, s'mores you can do. If you guys are interested, check out with your front desk to see what's all happening for your month. Well, that kind of wraps up the main building here. There's really not a lot to see. It's fairly limited. So let's go outside and see the rest of the resort. We're gonna head out these doors that are between the arcade and the food court out towards the main pool. Right outside of the pool is going to be a map of the property. So we are right here outside of Melody Hall, which is the main house we were just in. This here is going to be the Samba pool with the Samba section. Looks like jazz is going to be next. I believe that's going to be Broadway, country, and then rock and roll. I think that's the piano pool. So there might only be 2 pools at this location. There's also a running trail here which spans across all 3 of the All-Stars. So there's sports, here's where we are with music, and there's movies right there. So it kind of just runs along the side, doesn't loop around the entire resort like most other running trails do, but at least there is one. There's also lots of fun outdoor amenities like a big shuffleboard here and then a giant chess set down at the end. Here is a giant checkerboard as well. And here's the Samba pool, which is popping today. It's a very warm day out and it's perfect swimming weather. And as you can probably see, my friends, the 3 Caballeros, are right there in the middle. Very, very cute. I love this. It's very large. It's a very large area. They've also got a great location for their s'mores roasting. It's this little fire pit right here. Every resort is gonna have one of these. It is a paid activity. There's the outdoor side of the Singing Spirits bar. On the other side of Singing Spirits is gonna be some additional seating for the food court. So if you don't wanna eat inside where it may be loud and disruptive, you can kind of have somewhat of a quiet area out here. We've even got a little foosball table tucked back here as well. And I believe there are 2 laundry facilities on property. This is going to be one of them right here. Kind of give you like a Caribbean inspired kind of feel with the metal roofing. It also doubles as the bathrooms, which is really nice. All of the value resorts are going to be known for their larger than life decor, including these massive maracas. And there's a giant xylophone or marimba, one of the 2, I'm not entirely sure, over here. And then it just doubles up on the other side. This pool is also massive. I'm still walking along the side of it and it is just huge, which is wonderful. I love all the jungle theming. That is super cute. They got a monkey there and all these like tropical birds and the music notes kind of dance along the side of the building here. Personally, I really like value resorts. I know they sometimes get flack for being considered tacky, but I think that there's an odd charm to them. There's something just oddly exciting about having giant maracas outside of your room. So with being at a value resort, there are only going to be outdoor walkways. I mean, there's some smaller ones inside that kind of like take you from floor to floor. But most of your navigating is going to be outdoors in the heat and the sun like I am right now. So unfortunately, weather can be an issue when walking around these resorts. And all of the different themed buildings are going to have different themed staircases. So this giant drum is going to be the one for the Calypso section. And that's kind of about it for this area. I didn't go inside the pool because I don't want to kind of get in anybody's space or anything. I do see a little kiddie pool in there. So looks like we're getting ready to walk into the jazz section. It's right here. Between Calypso and jazz, there's going to be a playground. Let's go check it out. Yeah, kind of tucked back in here, this nice little overgrown forest area is the playground. I don't think anybody's actively using it, but it is fairly large. Got one section over here, a couple other sections over here. Sand bottom. Looks pretty good. I also just now realized that these giant jazz emblems are the stairs. Not as cool as the drum, but kind of cool. I like it. This jazz section kind of gives me Port Orleans vibes. Lots of trees, this gorgeous fountain in the middle that I just didn't expect to see. They do have all these larger than life instruments. So you got saxophone there through the trees, trumpet, trombone right over here. Ooh, a giant drum set. That is very cool. Jazz Inn. I love this little area. This is so nice. And it's really nicely shaded. Like you can still hear the loudness of the pool area, but like other than that, like it's pretty tranquil over here. There's really not a lot to say about the jazz section. It's pretty straightforward, not super exciting. Definitely more mature of a section than, you know, the other one we were just in. But I believe we're coming up here to the piano pool. Definitely a much smaller pool. Oh, there's a giant Ariel statue there. I didn't expect to see her. That's kind of cool. I don't necessarily know why she's here, but I like it. Obviously, it is called a piano pool because it is indeed shaped like a piano. In fact, there are keys at the very front of the pool that you walk on before you get in. From here, you can kind of see a better shot of the Ariel statue, which she's apparently holding a guitar. I don't know why, but she is. I didn't realize she was that musically inclined. Yeah, it's always nice to have that secondary option of a pool that if you don't want to deal with the loud trivia and the loud music and just the overall craziness, like there's no additional music playing over here. So it's kind of a more just chill vibe, but on a day like today, it's still gonna be really busy because it is hot out. Well, looks like we'll go clockwise and we'll go into the Broadway section next. Those are our stairs, stage door, which is very clever. I do like that. Looks like the piano pool is also going to house the other guest laundry, which is going to be in one of these two buildings, these little black buildings right here, which look like audio tuners or something like that. You can see the dial right there for the speaker system. This is kind of a strange area. It looks like we're on a road with like some random picnic tables here. Not gonna lie, it doesn't look very inviting. It looks very industrial, but it does give me kind of like Walt Disney Studios vibes, like an operating studio that would go and make productions or films or whatever. So I guess that's nice theming. Broadway style outfits right here, the glove, the cane, the top hat. And I do love the references to actual Broadway shows. So they have Mary Poppins and Frozen. Down here, they've got Lion King and I think Aladdin on this side. Yeah, Aladdin. And there's like a little box office window. That's very cute. I do like that. Oh, and there's Beauty and the Beast on this side too. What's on this one? A lot of the same ones. Lion King gets more of a, you know, head-on shot. Got Newsies right there. And then Ida. It's the only one I've never heard of. Elton John and Tim Rice. So I wonder if it has to do with Lion King maybe, since they did the music for that movie. This is like a little Central Park area. This is kind of cute. I will say there are some surprises here that I didn't quite expect, like the little fountain area, this little nice relaxing area here. I don't know if this is used for smoking, but this is nice. This seems pretty well manicured. This does look like something that would be over at a value resort. So I'm coming to the edge of the property, and that right there is going to be All-Star Movies. So we are very close to that resort. Same with on the other side. You can see All-Star Sports from the other side. So they are all within walking distance of each other. So if you want to spend time and go check out resorts, or you just kind of like walk around a little bit, you're not too far from a ton of other stuff. Also, as I've been walking around, I wonder if these genuinely are actual songs, or if they just like randomly picked music notes to throw up here. If someone is like musically inclined and can read music, please let me know in the comments. Is this just nonsense, or is that like an actual song? Leaving Broadway, we're going to be moving into the country section next, which looks like that might be a harmonica for the stairwell. I think that's kind of creative. All right, I'm not going to lie. I actually really enjoy this. I'm not a country person, but I really love the color and the aesthetic. I'm not going to count that as our hidden Mickey today. I'm going to wait till we actually find a good one. Giant fiddle, giant banjo, giant cowboy boot. There's our hidden Mickey of the day right there. I don't know if you guys see with the sun glare on the back of the boot. We're going to count that one today. Like a gingham backdrop here behind these giant cowboy boots. Yeah, this section is fun. I really like this. Got another hidden Mickey on the front side of the boot. Some country music playing in the background. And again, another surprise. This just kind of nice tranquil area here in the middle. This is definitely like the most aesthetically pleasing. You've got your fun picnic tables and these giant oversized trees that are just really kind of just giving a nice shade to the area. This fun like farm fence right here that you would let cattle or horses in and out of. This actually is probably my favorite section so far. I actually really like this. Got some more desert-esque plants over here. I want to say that's agave. I could be wrong, but giant cacti type of plant. Some other tropicals over here. I don't think I can get out this way, but it is nice. It's a nice little area kids can run around in, maybe lay down in the shade. It's a bit cooler here in the shade too, so maybe just enjoy being outside, you know? I really like these too, these plants. Also, please just be smart while you're on your vacation. Don't climb things you're not supposed to. Thank you. Leaving the country section, and I believe heading over into rock and roll, which I think is already our final section. This is a very fast resort tour. There's just, unfortunately, not a lot to show. Looks like there's a different color harmonica on this side over here, but our rock and roll section has like a giant speaker, and I love the colors. Kind of gives me like 1950s like sock hop vibes. Is that like a Cadillac symbol? I don't know cars, but it gives me like 1950s like soda fountain-esque vibes. Well, this is also very unique. Did I step into Pop Century? Because I feel like I'm in the 1950s section. This is very strange feeling to me. But I do like it. I love the colors. I love this grass, which is like doubles as the road. Again, this resort is very surprising. There's a lot of things I just didn't expect here. There's like curbs. They like went all out. Giant guitars and the records. Yeah, I believe it is a Cadillac because there's a car over here. Yeah, Chevrolet. Chevrolet Bel Air. So yes, like I said, I know nothing about cars. If you guys know what year this car is, let me know in the comments. Rock-in. Haha, rockin', I get it. As I've been walking around, I've been kind of thinking, like, how big would you have to be to treat this as if it was like a normal guitar? Gotta be pretty big. I also didn't realize that those lights on the like speaker are real lights. Like they actually are powered on right now. That's a detail they didn't have to do, but they did, and I appreciate it. As you can tell by how fast I showed everything, this is not a very large resort, which is kind of nice. Some Disney resorts are just really big, and after a long day of being in the parks, the last thing you want to do is make a long trek back to your room. Now, granted, if you're back here in the country section, it's kind of a far walk, especially because the only place it drops you off at is over in Samba. So you have to walk through Samba, through Jazz, through the piano pool, and all the way back there. But even then, that's not very far. Like, that's really not that bad. Well, let's say we head back to Intermission Food Court and go get that delicious looking cupcake. I'm very excited to try that unique offering here. And after that, we'll walk around a little bit more and give you guys my pros and cons on the resort. All right, guys, dessert acquired. This is the rock and roll cupcake, obviously inspired by Elvis himself. This is going to be a yellow cupcake filled with peanut butter, buttercream, and topped with banana, panna cotta, and candied bacon. And then there's a chocolate guitar on top. Elvis was known for one of his favorite sandwiches to be peanut butter, bacon, and banana, which sounds weird to me personally, so I would probably never eat it, but I love that this is here. This is probably one of the most unique things I've had at Disney. I just hope it's good. Take the chocolate off. I'm not quite sure what a panna cotta is. I wonder if it's the frosting. It's the frosting. Oh, I like that banana. It is an artificial banana tasting, but it is nice. There's chocolate. Got some Benny and the Jets playing in the background. Benny and the Jets. We're just gonna plunge right in, see if I can get a little bit of everything. I don't think I got any of the peanut butter. I think it's gonna be more towards the middle, but I at least got a good starting bite. Ooh, okay. I really like that aftertaste. It's one of my favorite cupcake I've ever had on property. I'm not usually a big fan of the cupcakes, so they're usually kind of but that salty, sweet bacon at the end, ooh, that's real nice. See if I can dig out some of that peanut butter. I kind of made a little bit of a mess, but I think that's it. Just that tiny little sliver right there. That's kind of disappointing, but let's taste it, see if it's any good. The banana is really nice, but the cake isn't too bad. But that banana and the like basically brown sugar bacon is so nice. Honestly, this is one of the best desserts I've had on these resort tours, like in all the episodes I've done. Good job, All Star Music. All right, well, let's talk some pros and cons about All Star Music. Biggest pro is gonna be your price. Like I said earlier, this is gonna be one of your least expensive resorts on property, along with the other two All Stars. Definitely great if you just want a nice place to rest your head at the end of the night. For me personally, I'm a big theme park person. I like to spend all day in the theme parks, and if I just want a place to come home and sleep, I think this would be great. Another pro is that it feels very family oriented. There is a lot of things for families to do. There's those large family suites, the larger than life decorations everywhere. This is definitely meant for families, definitely families in mind. Including the main pool. It's definitely one of the largest pools I think I've ever seen at any Disney resort. And I think it's nice to mention the nice little quiet areas I found. The little Central Park area, the little Western Garden area. Maybe just a nice place to get away from a lot of loud noise and just enjoy being at your resort and maybe not have to be around all the hubbub of everybody else. Let's talk some cons though. The All-Stars are known for being inexpensive, which also means that they can be very crowded. There's a lot of movement, a lot of families coming and going, definitely very busy. Your location on property is also kind of a con because we are all about near Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is very far away from everything else. It's far away from Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Disney Springs, and you have very limited transportation and food options. So because you're all the way out here, you have no access to a monorail, Skyliner, boat, just the buses, or Uber if you're deciding to call one for yourself. And those food options are just gonna be your Intermission Food Court or the McDonald's outside of the property. Granted, you can always go to any other resort and use whatever money you're saving from here to go eat there, but regardless, your options are gonna be limited. Now, the value resorts are not gonna be for everybody in terms of aesthetic, so that can be a turnoff for some people. Some people don't wanna wake up outside and see a giant instrument outside their bedroom. I personally don't mind it. I think it's kind of cute and unique. With that being said, All-Star Music might be my least favorite value I've been to so far. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just a little generic to me. As much as I love like the country section and the samba calypso section, I just don't really care for the Broadway section, the jazz section that I'm in right now. I think they're a little boring. And I feel like they lack a good Disney feel despite there being Disney touches here and there. I feel like it could be more Disney. Maybe updating it to a little bit more of a Disney character aesthetic, like maybe make the jazz section based on Soul. Who knows? But thank you guys so much for coming along. Hope you guys had a wonderful time on today's tour. Make sure you guys like our video and subscribe to our channel. Would you guys stay at this resort? Have you guys stayed at this resort? Let me know in the comments below. And thanks for making memories with me. We'll see you next time.